What is up, everybody? This is my first time back in a while doing a video. If you follow anything I do, you know that I had a suicide attempt recently, and it kind of pulled me out of the game for a while, and I'm still recovering from some of the after effects of that, but I've been aching to get back into doing this comedy stuff. So, anyway, first time back in a while. What you're going to see is a stand-up routine from the 16th of February. It was at Maggie Myers Irish Pub in Huntsville, Alabama. What I was trying to do is work on refining some of the stuff I did in my very first routine. Granted, I haven't been doing it long, so it's not like that was so long ago. But, you know, it's the bit that I've always wanted to open, you know, kind of if I ever had a comedy career, this is kind of, you know, the first story I wanted to tell. So just worked on polishing it up. So if you stuck around this long, please stick around, watch the bit, and catch me on the backside where we'll talk about what I think I did right and what I did wrong in my little hissy fit. So stick around.
How y'all doing tonight? Maggie Mines! How y'all doing tonight?
Yeah.
Let's give a hand for all the other comedians. You don't realize how stupid you sound until you get up here and hear yourself over a loudspeaker. All of a sudden you sound real damn dumb. So, now that we got it out of the way, how y'all mama and them?
Yeah.
I ain't getting nothing to these folks over here. How y'all mama and them?
Still dead.
Yeah.
Whatever. If you Southern, you're supposed to know what that means. You know, you're supposed to give me some love back. I just asked how your mama and them was. All right, so I know it's Monday. Thank y'all for coming out. Probably had a long day. So hopefully y'all can laugh at my goofy ass. If not at my jokes, at least at how I look. A little bit about myself. Let me just go ahead and get this out of the way. I am a disabled combat veteran.
Yeah.
I don't say that for any thank yous or thank you for your services. I just want you to know that I sometimes forget what the fuck I'm talking about. Because my brain is essentially a bag full of cats. And they're all fighting to get their time in the sun. So this is what you get today. So I've always wanted to be a comedian from the time I was 6 years old, standing up late, sneaking, watching Arsenio Hall. Continued that on through my entire childhood until I got a little bit older. I had a jacked up childhood. Basically, if you were to take do a DEI redo of Django and take out all the good spices and just put a bunch of cracker shit in there, and then put some castaway in there, and then you get my little white trash 99 cents a day ass. So, with that being said, like I said, I've always wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to be a comedian so bad that when I was in school, I took careers for 3 years. Now, careers was only offered in the 7th grade. So if any of you brainiacs are doing the math, your boy had a bachelor's, advanced bachelor's in 7th grade education. So I was really ahead of the curve. And after all those years of taking careers, I ended up last year with a teacher who, there's certain teachers who you can tell they just don't give a shit about their job. They don't like their job. She made it show, and that bitch really didn't like me. And for fair reason. Anytime she would be gone and would bring in a substitute teacher, she would come back and none of her rulers would measure over 4 inches because at 13 years old, I was pretty confident with what 4 inches looked like. And still, though, even through all our troubles, she still managed to reach out and touch me, in a way that not the way I really wanted. If there are any middle-aged males in the house, will you raise your hand, middle-aged males? Anybody? If you tell me you didn't have a spank bank growing up, you're full of shit. Because we all did. And so for a while, this lady was the MVP of my spank bank. And I had no trouble letting her know that, which is probably yet another reason why this chick hated my fucking guts. You know, I was a real fence line fuck up, a real a feral fuck up, you know, a county line fuck. You can put whatever you want to with that, and and so you know we were wrapping up that last year of careers class, and I saw the teacher, you know, going to her car. And normally I would tear some shit up on the way to the car, or you know, because, and I just wanted to hear what the hell they say when we came back the next year about whatever the hell that was I tore up. So anyway, I seen her walking to her car. I caught up with her, and she told me, you know, Brad, I really hope one day that you get to be a comedian because you ain't got the sense God gave a retarded chicken. That woman called me a retarded chicken. Now, I was a very different person back then, so I just couldn't let that shit slide. So I said, ma'am, I want you to know, I hope I do make it as a comedian one day. And that'll give me the opportunity to thank you for getting me through all those long nights when I was a young man. And so hopefully, you know, one day you will see me on the internet. And if you happen to see this, I just want you to know, cluck, cluck, bitch. Here I am. Y'all have a good night, guys.
All right, that was Brad Davis. Let's hear it for him one more time. Coming out and doing an open mic is not easy.
So hopefully you stuck around this long and it wasn't that terrible. I mean, it could have been that terrible. Hissy fit at the beginning, me slamming the mic stand like I'm just having a big old come apart. You know, you do these open mics and you just kind of do them wherever you can. And sometimes it's like a dedicated open mic, and sometimes, you know, the open mic's just happening secondary to, you know, whatever else is going on. So this was, you know, at an Irish pub slash bar, and this was an add-on thing that was going on. There was still normal bar traffic. And so you're contending with, you know, trying to talk over people who are trying to have conversations, and so you try not to let that get to you. So I just tried to make a goof of it out at the beginning and see if I could actually get anybody's attention. It worked on a few people. Overall, I think I did okay. It's just going to keep on taking time working on refining this stuff. You know, it's, you know, George Carlin didn't become George Carlin overnight, and neither did any other greats. They had to bomb and work and fail. And that's just what I'm doing, man, trying to work my way through it. So, um, yeah, we're just going to keep on going. Thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, share, do all those funky little things. And hopefully we can continue this ride together. So, until next time, y'all take care. Later.